With profound, humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy, blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace.
Part 3 of 4.
Etc.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, having God's speed.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Just to produce 1 kg of beef, 16,000 liters of water, that means 3 years of the animal's growth, the amount of water it needs. It's completely unsustainable by whatever math that we know.
Please stay with us to enjoy this illuminating congress.
As I drew each eye, as cliché as this sounds, I feel like I glimpsed into the soul of each animal that was about to die, and my heart grew heavier with each one. They are terrified. They want to live. We have to stop this. Kate Lewis Powell, vegan.
Today's program will be presented in English with subtitles in Arabic, Aulacese, also known as Vietnamese, Chinese, English, French, German, Hindi, Hungarian, Indonesian, Korean, Mongolian, Persian, Portuguese, Russian, Spanish, Thai, and Ukrainian or Uranian. Geros dienos. This means have a nice day in Lithuanian. Dear viewers, I am Justina. The gentle Lithuanians wish for humankind to quickly awaken to respect all life and stop killing animal people for food. The vegan diet is healthy and compassionate, so we invite you to join this wonderful lifestyle if you have not yet done so. The sublimely beautiful country of Lithuania is located in Northern Europe, along the southeastern shore of the Baltic Sea. Lithuania's culture spans many centuries, and the country has been honored with the designation of 11 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. 5 national parks also serve to protect many species of bird people and mammal people, as well as 200-year-old trees. Many talented Lithuanians have gained international acclaim for their creative and professional contributions. In the world of sports, basketball greats include Arvydas Sabonis, Jonas Valanciunas, and Šarūnas Marčiulionis. In music, there is the current conductor Mirga Gražinytė Tyla and the 19th century artist and composer Mikalojus Konstantinas Čiurlionis, who was devoted to preserving Lithuanian culture. Čiurlionis collected and published Lithuanian folk songs, while also creating some 800 original paintings and musical compositions. The capital of Lithuania, Vilnius, is a fascinating mix of contemporary and ancient, rich in architecture and historical monuments. The city's annual Lithuanian Song Festival is an amazing collection of talent and tradition, with performances from citizens of all ages. This spectacular event culminates in a final performance of some 15,000 participants united in song. In December 2010, the first ever Middle East Vegetarian Congress was held at the Dubai International Exhibition Center, with the public invited to engage in an interactive exploration of the plant-based lifestyle. Organized by the Middle East Veg Group, or MEVEG, supported by the Middle East Natural and Organic Product Expo 2010, and endorsed by the Dubai Health Authority of the United Arab Emirates, the event provided 2 days of seminars, workshops, and video telecasts with experts from around the world, along with rejuvenating veg cuisine. In addition, Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, was specially invited to speak via live video link on being a vegan, an environmentally sustainable food choice, followed by a question and answer session with attendees, and the launch of the Arabic edition of the international best-selling book, The Birds in My Life, which was already sold out pre-launch. The Birds in My Life was printed by United Printing and Publishing, a subsidiary of Abu Dhabi Media Company, or ADMC, owned by the government of Abu Dhabi.
Be veg, go green to save the planet. Yo!
We now invite you to join us for part 18 of the conference titled The First Middle East Vegetarian or MEVEG Congress, held in the city of Dubai in the United Arab Emirates on December 6, 2010, with Sandhya Prakash, vegetarian, the founder of Middle East Veg Group or MEVEG, where she explains the detrimental impacts that animal people raising for food has on our environment, our water usage, and the wastefulness of food production in this industry.
Warning: sensitive content.
So basically that's all I wanted to tell you guys, that it's not difficult, but it's also not easy to feed our children in a healthy way. But I think that if all of us think or decide that this is what we want to do, then somewhere along the line, I think we will succeed. I think if you take care of your body will take care of you. And I think we as parents, if we take care of our children and we come up with a new generation of kids who are healthy, physically, mentally, then I'm sure that somewhere along the line in the world we'll have a better future. Thank you.
Any questions, guys? Kids, any questions? You should ask her how you can convince your parents to do all this, give you some more interesting fruits and stuff, not the usual bangan or eggplant or, whatever you don't like, karela, bitter gourd, whatever, right? Thank you so much. A little token of appreciation. Ohna, thank you so much for sharing this. You really have inspired us that we need to bring these habits in our children. Thank you. All right. Anybody, I just wanted to ask you, any key points that you have picked up from all the morning sessions or afternoon session? Anybody, something struck their mind or some thought that is processing? Anybody would like to share something? How about the kids? Children, have you picked up something? Don't think like I'm a teacher and I'm asking a question and you're thinking, oh my God, now I have to answer, come up with a smart answer, but something. Is there anything? All right, guys, now we will be proceeding towards the workshop where Lo is preparing the most amazing smoothies, and one batch of kids have already been to the workshop and they've had fun. You remember the lovely pictures he put up of the smoothies with the nuts and everything? So we will be proceeding for that workshop, but before that, I would like to thank all of you for being such a wonderful audience. And if you thought that today was interesting, tomorrow would be even more amazingly informative and lots of things which the speakers are going to share. So look forward to seeing you tomorrow. while Yao prepares for the workshop, for all of us to be there, I'll just give the mic to Sandhya. She has a little bit information to share with all of you.
I'm going to share with you is a short impact of food on the environment front. Now, this is a talk that has been going on in Cairo. I've been giving this perspective in different parts of the world. And I'd like to bring that to Dubai and just talk about what is the impact that we are having from the livestock point of view on the environment, and why it is so very important for us to look at the ecological footprint that is currently there, that we are creating by just the choice of our food habits. See, what happens is, when we have to feed the animals so that they can give us milk or they can give us meat, there is a supply chain. Supply chain means what happens now, step 1, step 2, step 3, okay? So what happens is the first step is the feed production. You need to produce a lot of food for all the animals. Then goes to the animal production. Then you process it. Then you transport that particular feed from across farms, continents, and especially in a place like UAE, we import everything that comes. We don't have too much of local produce. And then comes the consumption, where we actually eat, but not just eat, we overeat and we waste a whole lot. So all along the supply chain, what is happening is, at the feed production, we are adding a lot of antibiotics so that our plants can grow faster. That enters the food chain. Industrial farms, we let out a lot of carbon into the air, so the greenhouse gases go on increasing. During the production process, what happens is even the animals that are there in the farm, the methane that they come out fills 18% of the greenhouse gases today are because of the animals. You cannot imagine, we rear 56 billion animals for our food today. Just to feed 6 billion people, something is wrong with the math that we are doing, okay? We need to think about this. How does that impact the air? Greenhouse gas emissions, methane. Water, we don't have too much water. We are very, very short of water, especially in this particular region. Our water footprint is phenomenal. Soil, we are using the same land to grow food for feeding the animals which we are going to eat. Rather than that, if you use that same land to grow food that we can directly eat from the plant, we'll be feeding a lot more mouths. Yeah? This is common sense. Energy. How do we get energy? All of us. From plants. Plants get energy by photosynthesis. Where do they get it from? From the sun, right? So this cycle needs to be as short as possible so that we get the maximum amount of energy into us. When I said livestock feed, this is what happens. The cows, you in your mind imagine, are in green grass, eating somewhere out there. Oh no. Where would they eat? They eat what we give them. We give them food that makes them give milk faster, grow faster, and so on. And how did all this start? How did we get here? Why did we get into this cycle? That's because we started with agriculture. Then the livestock revolution started only in 1990, just about 20 to 30 years ago, from about 80. Lots of antibiotics. Look at the amount of antibiotics livestock is just eating. You know, the pharmacies, they all produce a lot of antibiotics. It's used up 50% by the livestock industry. Pesticides, 37% is used by the livestock industry. We talk about driving from point A to point B, and we should switch off lights in our house and blah, blah. Just the livestock is 18% of greenhouse gas emissions. And these are not things that I've made out. I'm not an expert. I'm not a professor, nor a doctor. These are all out there on the net. These are Googleable facts from US FDA, from each one of the WWF reports if you go through. So in effect, what is happening is 1 kilogram of beef, the amount of pollution that is there, that we let out into the atmosphere for getting that 1 kilogram of beef, is the same as if you're driving for 3 hours and leaving lights in your house on back home for those 3 hours. The amount of pollution that you would spread is the same as eating a kg of beef. For 200 kg of boneless beef, just see how much the cow has to consume. And that is a fact for 3 years before it gets slaughtered. So that's a lot of food that we are growing to feed the animals so that we can eat. Does not sustainable in any which way. That doesn't need me to talk. Grazing land, 26% is used of the soil. Nutrient and water use, amazing. And what happens is the variety of animals, the biodiversity, is completely getting ruined. These are the 23 global hotspots where there were millions of animals. Now the species are just getting wiped out. So in effect, what is happening is, if you eat this fruit straight, the amount of energy that you get, which is more, straight from here or after we cook it and roast it? As soon as you pluck it out of the plant, if you eat it, maximum energy, right? Common sense. I want to talk about this other aspect. You need to very carefully listen because it's important for us in the Middle East. It's called the water footprint. I had the good fortune of meeting Professor Tony Allen 2 weeks ago when he was in Dubai. And Professor Tony Allen is almost, I think, 75 years old now. You know, tottering, tall, old man. Very, very nice person. And I had read about him about 2 years ago when I read about water footprint. And he came up with this idea 22 years ago. But people started listening to him just about 2 years ago. And they started writing. What is water footprint? Potatoes, we all like them. 200 grams of potatoes uses 50 liters of fresh water. Potato chips, we all like them too. 200 grams of potato chips actually uses 185 liters of water. Why do I say that? Because it's not just the potato, it's the packaging that goes into it, the oil that goes to fry it, the transportation of these chips, whatever brand, from whichever country it is coming into. The amount of water that has been calculated is 185 liters. So before you pick up the next packet of 200 grams of chips packet, you need to understand the water footprint that you are creating for planet Earth. So Professor Arjun is the person who actually publicized Tony Allen's thought just 2-3 years ago. And issues like water shortages and pollution can be better understood if only we understand the full supply chain. This one's very interesting. Milk, coffee, 140 liters of water is what you actually are using as your water footprint. A kg of wheat, 1,350 liters of water. Is this sustainable at all? But just wait till you see this. Just to produce 1 kg of beef, 16,000 liters of water. That means 3 years of the animal's growth, the amount of water it needs, then the processing, then the transportation. It's phenomenal. It's completely unsustainable by whatever math that we know. So, in effect, livestock and water footprint are going to be the next big topics that we need to actively think about. And what most countries are doing is they are externalizing this water footprint. Meaning, they have all the farms of the cows and other things, say, in Australia, and then the meat is supplied to other places. Yes? So the water footprint of Australia is much lesser, but then when we have it, it's much, much more higher. So they are just externalizing the whole water footprint. And even in this region, the Nile Basin, the food supply demand situation is nothing to laugh about. The water situation is really, really low. So one of the solutions, and the only solution that is there, is reduce that water footprint by shifting your consumption patterns. You have to reduce the meat intake faster. If you're having 7 days, bring it down. Become a flexitarian, like the people said in the morning. Become a weekday vegetarian, about which we'll talk about tomorrow. Do something. Reduce that in the benefit of planet and your health. I'll just skip this and show you one particular book. These are things that you can go out and read. Okay? These are very interesting books, very important books, more than interesting. Food Matters, A Guide to Conscious Living, Mark Bittman. Livestock's Long Shadow, the whole report is available. Please Google. Google today is my best friend. Yeah? Everything is out there. If you wish, you can go and pick up whatever information that you want. Eating animals, Jonathan Safran Foer, An Omnivore's Dilemma. In the end, we all love our fellow beings, our family, our animals, just the way like they do for each other. So what you have in front of you is a choice. And that choice lies only in your hand, nobody else's. Thank you very much.
All right, guys. So Yalla, let's go and try some of those wonderful, wonderful smoothies and see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here and spending your precious time with all of us.
Making war is good for you. Your body will be sick, your life will be shortened, and your soul will be destroyed.
Valiant viewers, thank you for your presence today for the first Middle East Vegetarian or MEVEG Congress on Words of Wisdom. Please join us next Monday, January 16th for part 19 of this illuminating conference. Coming up next is The Last Judgment, a cautionary masterpiece by Michelangelo, part 1 of 2, right after noteworthy news. May our prayers for all of Earth's inhabitants to live together in love and harmony soon become a reality.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, hell not reach.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/WOW.
برنامه‌های ما شامل زبان‌های بسیاری است. از این وبسایت‌ها دیدن فرمایید: suprememastertv.com/schedule و suprememastertv.com/WOW